Most fighters try to hurt you. Saenchai tries to solve you, and once he does, the fight is already over. Multiple-time Lumpini Stadium champion. Champion across weight classes. A man who fought bigger opponents and made them look smaller. But here's what makes him different. It's not power. It's not speed. It's not even experience. It's control. Complete control, distance, timing, ego. Opponents walk in ready for war. They leave questioning their instincts because fighting Saenchai isn't chaos. It's psychological erosion. Every feint plants doubt. Every teep steals balance. Every sweep steals pride. He doesn't overwhelm you. He disassembles you. Calmly, publicly, repeatedly. And in this video, we're breaking down the 10 fights that prove exactly why Saenchai isn't just one of the greatest Muay Thai fighters ever. He's one of the smartest combat artists to ever step into a ring. Starting with the fight that showed the world that even elite champions can be made to look ordinary. This is Saenchai versus Nong-O, 2014 inside the historic Lumpini Boxing Stadium in Bangkok, Thailand. The opening unfolds without urgency. Saenchai resists haste, observing rather than advancing recklessly. Both men trade early strikes as the referee calls for greater pace. Early in round 2, Nong-O drives a clean teep straight up the middle. Saenchai steps forward again, reclaiming position immediately. 335. As the round settles, output increases. Nong-O targets with repeated power kicks and Saenchai returns fire in equal measure. After extended exchanges, they close distance and lock into the clinch, neither gaining clear leverage before the referee intervenes. Evenly matched strength often delays resolution, but rarely prevents it. Late in the round, Saenchai applies forward pressure. He strings together multiple attacks, then re-enters the clinch where both fighters trade heavy knees in close quarters. Round 4, start. Nong-O snaps a clean left jab that briefly interrupts Saenchai's rhythm. Shortly after, Nong-O advances and executes a sweep, sending Saenchai to the canvas. The fall registers, but it does not slow him. Some fighters interpret impact as instruction, others treat it as ignition. Recognizing the opening, Saenchai presses forward with renewed aggression. His movement sharpens and the balance of exchanges begins tilting in his direction. Pressure, once sustained, has a way of compounding without announcement. A precise 1-2 combination lands clean, clearly rattling Nong-O. Saenchai follows with light footwork, composure intact, and confidence visible. When technique meets timing, the body responds before pride can intervene. The contest stays tight into the closing stretch. After a prolonged and draining battle, Saenchai pulls ahead, securing the decision through steadiness, experience, and ring control. Over time, structure often outweighs spectacle, and the scorecards reflect that arithmetic. Fight number 2, Saenchai versus Singdam. Intro. 2012, at the storied Rajadamnern Stadium in Bangkok, an old arena where reputations are tested under heat and noise. The contest opens deliberately, neither man rushing engagement. They study posture and reaction, easing into range without committing to damaging exchanges. Early restraint sets the framework. When neither yields information freely, patience becomes the first strategic investment. Activity begins to build as punches and kicks are traded with greater frequency. Saenchai briefly catches a kick and attempts a sweep, but it fails, prompting a reset. Not every captured limb guarantees consequence. Balance often defends what force cannot. confidence grows on both sides as kicks and punches flow more freely. Saenchai adjusts his shorts, irritation visible, a familiar signal that his engagement is sharpening. Small rituals in combat often precede escalation. The body prepares before the audience recognizes it. 604. Singdam drives a strong kick that Saenchai catches, then releases before answering with strikes of his own. Both return kicks and nearly enter the clinch, tension rising as the round closes. The tempo shifts decisively upward. They meet in the clinch, and heavy knees begin to land with intent. Close-range combat removes illusion. Durability is tested where leverage replaces distance. Singdam whips a right kick that Saenchai blocks, flowing immediately into another clinch engagement. In tight quarters, they trade knees while fighting for control. When neither concedes position, impact becomes the only language left. Saenchai adjusts his shorts once more, the gesture signaling another change in posture. As intensity continues climbing, experienced opponents recognize these patterns. Preparation rarely hides for long. Saenchai takes a clean left jab and moves into another exchange, blocking consecutive kicks before firing back with punches and kicks. Neither establishes clear dominance, and both attempt sweeps before the referee separates them. Competitive balance often extends conflict rather than resolving it. Again, Saenchai adjusts his shorts, a cue Singdam acknowledges as they ready themselves for further escalation. In prolonged contests, subtle signals travel faster than spoken words. Inside the clinch, a punishing knee exchange unfolds. Each strike lands with visible authority, and even the referee struggles to part them as tension peaks. Sustained collision eventually answers its own questions. Late in the fourth, movement slows as both conserve what remains, circling cautiously while seconds drain away. After a tightly contested struggle, the decision goes to Singdam. Endurance defines the margins when dominance never fully arrives. Fight 3. Saenchai Sor Kingstar vs Kem Sitsongpeenong. 2015, inside the historic Lumpini Boxing Stadium in Bangkok, Thailand. A familiar proving ground where elite technicians are measured under unforgiving lights. On this night, composure and pressure prepare to test each other without compromise. Round 1, start. Kem advances immediately, applying forward pressure from the opening seconds. Saenchai remains composed, studying rhythm and posture without conceding position. Kem continues stepping in, but Saenchai stands firm as tension gradually builds. Early pressure tests structure. Composure decides whether it fractures. 10:05. Early in round 2, Saenchai increases activity. Yet, Kem catches him and throws him to the canvas. Saenchai rises quickly, irritation evident, focus sharpened. A fall registers on the score, but it also clarifies intent. Saenchai bursts forward with a jumping attack, driving the action into a prolonged clinch. Knees are exchanged repeatedly before Kem exits with a sharp elbow. Extended clinches compress space and patience. Neither resource replenishes easily. Saenchai fires a left kick, blocks the return, and steps into the clinch. From there, he executes a clean throw on Kem and remains standing, posture turning more assertive. Successful balance shifts often redraw psychological lines as much as physical ones. Under that pressure, Saenchai stays measured and times another precise throw, sending Kem to the canvas once more. Repetition in technique suggests calculation, not accident. Round 3 ignites fully. Both commit inside extended clinches packed with knees and elbows, each exchange layered with intent. At close range, Muay Thai reduces to leverage and endurance. Neither forgives excess. They lock into the clinch again, balance and control on display as both work knees while denying sweeps. Stability becomes the hidden contest, and the energy cost climbs steadily. 14-18. Saenchai delivers his trademark teep, driving Kem backward onto the canvas with sudden force. Momentum shifts abruptly. Timing often outweighs volume. Kem traps Saenchai against the ropes, applying sustained combinations while blocking exits. Pressure against the boundary leaves little margin for error. Final moments. Saenchai reverses position and throws Kem to the canvas, leaving him struggling to rise. Control swings decisively. For some, the shift feels sudden. For Saenchai, it follows a familiar pattern. Patience first, correction later. Victory at the end. 2013 at the historic Rajadamnern Stadium in Bangkok, Thailand. Fight for Saenchai versus Yodwicha Por Bunsit. From the opening seconds, the height disparity is unmistakable. Yodwicha stands visibly taller, carrying a structural advantage over Saenchai. Physical dimensions establish early expectations. The ring often tests whether they endure.
Saenchai นั้นเป็นยอดมวยปีพุทธศักราช 2542 แล้วก็เป็นยอดมวยไทยสยามกีฬาอวอร์ดคนที่ 3 นะครับในขณะที่ยอดวิชานั้นเป็นยอดมวยไทยปีล่าสุดแล้วก็เป็นยอดมวยสยามกีฬาอวอร์ดคนล่าสุดนะครับคนที่
Yodwicha advances immediately, applying reach and forward pressure to manage distance. His longer frame dictates range in the early exchanges. Length can control geography, but it does not guarantee authorship of the outcome.
สถาบันครับมีสถาบันหนึ่งนั้นทองร่วมกับแสงมณีสเทียนโพวันนี้เจอกันในพิกัด 133 ปอนด์นะครับเลดนั้นเปิดให้เสมอแสนชัยทั้งมวยฝ่ายแดงกรรมการธนงพุ่มพานิชย์กับกรรมการผู้ว่าบนเวทีนานๆสักครั้งนะครับจะเห็นว่าแสนชัยไม่ต้องต่อพิกัดให้กับคู่ชกรูปร่างนั้นโอ้รูปร่างส่วนสูงนั้นไม่ต้องบอกแล้วไม่ต้องอธิบายเลยครับภาพมันฟ้องวิชานั้นสูงยาวใหญ่แสนชัยนั้นเตี้ยล่ำนะครับและที่สำคัญใหญ่กว่าเธอก็เคยเจอมาแล้วแบบแสนชัยบอกมือซ้ายกับมือขวาแสนชัยนั้นหลักเรียนฝีมือมวยดีโอ้โหเจอศอกขวาของยอดวิชาเข้าไปฉายา ยอดมวยมหาชน
As customary in Muay Thai, the first round unfolds as assessment. Both study reactions carefully, though sharp exchanges expose contrasting temperaments. Observation is procedural. Interpretation determines who benefits from it.
ไม่ได้หวั่นเกรงศักดิ์ศรีรุ่นพี่และที่สำคัญวันนี้มีศอกมาเสริมเลยครับฝ่ายแดงนั้นจากมหาสารคามจะไปมหาสารคามนี่ต้องผ่านโคราชก่อนครับฝ่ายน้ำเงินนั้นอยู่โคราชลูกหลานย่าโม
Youth and experience divide the approaches. Yodwicha presses the pace, while Saenchai remains composed, drawing on years accumulated under similar lights. Time refines restraint in ways enthusiasm rarely anticipates. In round 2, pressure gathers along the ropes. Yodwicha fires repeated kicks, forcing Saenchai into defensive responses and limiting immediate counters. Confinement reduces options. Efficiency becomes essential.
ขึ้นมานี่ไม่เคยเป็นรองใคร
By the third, tempo rises. Saenchai increases output, steps in more decisively, and begins attempting sweeps without surrendering ground. When space tightens, initiative often shifts to the one willing to contest it.
อยากจิ้ม
Despite the disadvantage in height and size, Saenchai starts controlling key clinch exchanges. Superior balance and technique blunt Yodwicha's strength advantage. Leverage applied correctly can offset measurable mass.
กรรมการชูมือให้ยอดวิชาครับเป็นฝ่ายชนะคะแนนแต่มีคะแนน2-1เสียงนะครับ
Saenchai versus Pakorn. Some fights are won with power, others are won with patience. And when Saenchai stepped into the ring against Pakorn, he wasn't facing chaos or aggression. He was facing precision. On September 14, 2012, inside the legendary Lumpini Boxing Stadium in Bangkok, Thailand, two of Muay Thai's most technical fighters met in a contest that would test endurance, balance, and fight IQ at the highest level. The opening round begins in unusual fashion as Saenchai immediately attempts a high kick toward Pakorn's head, setting an aggressive tone early in the fight. Even in the early moments, both fighters display constant movement and exchange powerful kicks, establishing a fast technical rhythm from the start.
Steps forwards, hard shots, real basic stuff.
Yeah, and he can do all. He can kick, he can ball.
Saenchai surprises everyone in the first round with his legendary cartwheel kick, showcasing the creativity that has defined his career.
Oh, cartwheel kick from Saenchai this early on, round one.
Pakorn answers with a strong kick of his own, but Saenchai intercepts the attack and responds with a perfectly timed sweep.
Beautiful takedown there, catching Pakorn's right body kick. Saenchai just kicks out the standing.
Saenchai once again excites the crowd with his signature techniques, including a playful skipping teep that highlights his confidence inside the ring. Saenchai responds with a beautifully timed left high kick that lands cleanly, shifting momentum back in his favor. The fourth round begins with intensity on both sides, combining disciplined defense with aggressive offense as the fight reaches its most competitive phase. Saenchai lands a sharp teep that briefly sends Pakorn backward, though Pakorn quickly regains ground and begins forcing Saenchai toward the corner. Pakorn increases his aggression, pressing forward relentlessly as both fighters appear nearly even on points, leaving a knockout as Pakorn's clearest path to victory.
And Pakorn's going through the box and there he knows he needs.
Fatigue becomes visible on both fighters as the fifth and final round approaches its conclusion, each man fighting through exhaustion. Sensing the fight nearing its end, Saenchai attempts one final display of his signature kicks, but briefly loses balance and falls.
The first time Pakorn's fought in Europe.
It's actually the first time Pakorn's been outside of Thailand.
Yeah, Yeah, that's right. I think Brian was telling me it was his first passport and everything.
After a highly competitive and technical battle, Saenchai is awarded the victory by narrow decision, closing out an outstanding contest between two elite fighters. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed the video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share to support the channel. More legendary fights coming soon.